Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Realme today launched the Realme X7 MAX smartphone. So this smartphone is actually launched in the two storage variants. So one is the 8GB of RAM with 128GB storage. So it is actually priced for rupees 26,999, and for 12GB of RAM with 256GB internal storage, it actually priced for rupees 29,999. Now in this video we are going to talk about the Realme X7 MAX specs and its features. Also along with that, so what are all the considerable smartphones you can buy so compared with the Realme X7 Max. So we'll get all these things in this video, guys. Well, firstly let's talk about the Realme X7 Max specifications. So the Realme X7 Max sports with a 6.43-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED 120Hz of screen refresh rate, and this display is also supported with the in-display fingerprint scanning support. So in terms of security measure, in addition to the face unlock, it also supported with the in-display fingerprint scanning. And then this display is based on a punch hole style design, and inside the punch hole it having a 16 megapixel selfie camera, and moving around it has a triple camera setup having a 64 megapixel Sony IMX682 camera sensor as a primary camera. In addition to that, 8 megapixel ultra wide angle and 2 megapixel macro sensors are given. Then this smartphone is the first smartphone in India to be powered with the MediaTek Dimensity 1200 octa-core processor, and this processor is based on a 5G based processor. Also, the brand is confirmed that this time the Realme X7 Max is going to be featured with a more number of 5G bands. This Realme X7 Max comes with a total of 7 5G bands. So N1, N28A, N40, N41, N77, N78 and then N79. So like this you will get a total of 7 5G bands in this Realme X7 Max smartphone. And finally it powers with a 4500 mAh of battery with the 50 watts of fast charging support. And this smartphone runs on Realme UI 2.0 based on Android 11 OS. Now overall, so these are all the specs and features of the Realme X7 Max smartphone. Now let's move on to the what are the considerable smartphones you can buy compared to the Realme X7 Max. So the first smartphone we are going to see is the iQOO 7. So this iQOO 7 is almost similar to the Realme X7 Max. So it is the most considerable smartphone compared to the Realme X7 Max. The iQOO 7 has the highlights of 6.62-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED 120Hz screen refresh rate. Also, it is supported with the in-display fingerprint scanning. And in terms of camera configuration, it has a 48 megapixel Sony IMX598 camera sensor, 13 megapixel ultra wide angle and 2 megapixel portrait sensor. And then it powered with the Snapdragon 870 processor, Adreno based GPU. And in terms of battery, it has a 4400 mAh of battery with the 66 watts of fast charging support. So it is one of the most considerable smartphone compared to the Realme X7 Max, since the iQOO 7 comes with the Qualcomm Snapdragon processor that is based on an Adreno based GPU, and it is also comes with the 66 watts of fast charging support. And apart from that, most of the specs are similar, like AMOLED display, in-display fingerprint scanning, 120Hz refresh rate. But this iQOO 7 comes with a only 48 megapixel Sony IMX582 camera sensor, but in the Realme X7 Max you will get a 64 megapixel Sony IMX682 camera sensor. So that is one of the major differences. And apart from that, iQOO 7 is also one of the best choice to be considered compared to the Realme X7 Max. Then moving on to the next smartphone. So this smartphone is from the Xiaomi side. So this is the Mi 11X smartphone. So this smartphone will also be priced along this price segment only. So this smartphone has some of the highlights like a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display, 120Hz screen refresh rate. Also, this display is supported with the HDR10 Plus support, but this display has a side mounted fingerprint scanning for the security measure. And in terms of camera configuration, it has a 48 megapixel Sony IMX582 camera sensor. In addition to that, 8 megapixel ultra wide angle, 5 megapixel tele macro sensor has been given. On the front, it has a 20 megapixel selfie, and this smartphone is also powered with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 processor, and it is also Adreno based GPU. And in terms of battery, it has a 4520 mAh of battery with 33 watts of fast charging support. Also, in addition, the Mi 11X is actually not supported with a 3.5mm jack, but in the box you will get a USB Type-C to 3.5mm jack converter. Also along with that, and this smartphone has a stereo speaker support, and it has a IR blaster sensor. You can able to control your smart TV using your smartphone itself. And mainly this smartphone has a supported with the Navic IC. So the GPU location you are getting from the Navic. So Navic is based on a Indian developed GPS tracking system. So Mi11X is also one of the considerable smartphone compared to the Realme X7 Max. But the one thing is actually disappointing is the side mounted fingerprint scanning. In case if you are a user, you are not wishing to use the side mounted as a fingerprint scanning, means you can instead go to the iQOO 7 or a Realme X7 Max. So the Realme X7 Max is a MediaTek processor. So if you want a Qualcomm based processor, means you can go for the iQOO 7 too, because it is covered with most of the specs like in-display fingerprint scanning, Qualcomm processor, and a 66 watts of fast charging. The only thing is you only get a 48 megapixel Sony camera sensor. Also in addition, you can also consider the Vivo X60 smartphone. So it is also having some of the most highlighted features like so it comes with a 6.56 inch Super AMOLED 120 Hz screen refresh rate, and it is also powered with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 processor Adreno based GPU, 48 megapixel of primary camera, 13 megapixel ultra wide angle, and 13 megapixel portrait, 32 megapixel of selfie camera, and it has powers with the 4300 mAh of battery, 33 watts of fast charging support. Also the Vivo smartphones generally comes with a very light in weight. As usual, this Vivo X60 smartphone comes with only 177 grams of weight, and it also comes with a very thin in size. So overall, the Vivo X60 smartphone is also one of the best choice to be considered, but it will be priced so some more 2 to 3,000 in addition compared to the Realme X7 Max and then iQOO 7s and the Mi11X smartphone. So that is the one point. So in case if you can afford more than or 3K, 4K like that, means you can also go for the Vivo X60 smartphone. So Vivo X60 smartphone is still one of the best smartphone for design, performance, and long-term build quality. Well, overall now that's all about this video. So these are all the best smartphones to buy compared to the Realme X7 Max. So now what are your guys' thoughts among these four smartphones like Realme X7 Max, iQOO 7, Mi11X, and the Vivo X60 smartphone? So what's your choice in this four smartphone? Let me know in the comment section below. And that's all about this video, guys. And hopefully if you guys like this video, hit the like button, and if you guys like to watch my upcoming videos, hit the subscribe button.